Welcome to Pigeon River Farm, doing farming right. I'm Robert Brown, the owner of Pigeon River Farm. Thank you for viewing. Good evening. In tonight's episode, we're going to talk about diversity on the farm of what you plant. Around 15 years ago, we come up with the idea of planting hazelnuts. And hazelnuts have been just a sideline for us, but another beneficial crop that we put in. We've got a total of 450 trees or bushes planted of hazelnut that are a hybrid that we purchased from a company called Badger Set out of Minnesota. Actually, I read a lot of books from the developer of it. This hazelnut species we have here, I believe, is a hybrid between the American hazelnut bush and the European hazelnut tree. They did a lot of changing and hybriding of it, and they come up with a very successful crop. This plant type has been really beneficial to us, produced a lot of hazelnuts. We pick them by the bushel in the fall. They're, average size, but we get a lot of them. Quantitatively, we might get between 5 and 10 bushel full of hazelnuts out of the patch. We do lose a fair amount to blue jays. That's kind of the big threat. So it's always a challenge between when we get out and pick the hazelnuts and when the arrival of the migrating blue jays. So that is one of the threats that we found. We never even considered that being an issue when we initially put them in. But they've served multiple purposes. One is the obvious, giving us a really high protein source. They're very enjoyable to eat. Whatever seconds I have, I actually put into the poultry feed. Since they're, I believe the number is about 60% protein per volume on the oil. So very, very high in protein. So as I said, we don't really sell any off the farm. I never got really large enough to other than a few individuals. But I see it as a market and a market potential for somebody to go into. I know a number of successful farms that they put in more acreage. We're at, I guess we'd say, at about a quarter acre of hazelnuts. But they're very productive for our environment. Plus, we utilize them for other purposes. One is they make a great understory for the birds. Our chicks or young chickens in the spring, if they're not on a pasture, they're still in by the high tunnel area, and these are located right by the high tunnel. And the birds can stay underneath there, kind of keep predators. Additionally, it co-mingles there. We have the ability for the chickens, they'll manure, litter underneath there, and respectively, gives them good shelter and a lot of bugs and so on. The other threat that has been a kind of an ongoing problem is our escaping goats. Goats love the leaves off the hazelnut bushes more than anything else in the world. And so if they do escape, and that's the thing with the fence, if a goat has the opportunity, it will escape and it will head over and start eating the leaves and the supple buds off of the hazelnuts. So it's one of the challenges. We've lost a number of years. We lost a portion of the crop just to simply the goats getting in there and me not seeing it initially. So we've been pleased with it. They really grow well. We've had them, I said, for 15 years now. We planted them in as little starts. They were, very little rooted. You seed plant them. That's what we did. We didn't use cuttings. We actually used seed planting. So they had an established root system. And things I've learned about the hazelnut. One is the root system, they say, is as big on the bottom as it is on the top. Now, granted, true with a lot of trees, and they'll set down roots looking for water. Is far down, I understand, is about 18 feet. So they really do an excellent job of breaking up the soil, holding tight into the soil, and they never seem to stress for anything. That's one thing, they're very rock solid. On droughty years or wet years, they don't seem to change much, and that's kind of a nice thing to have. So I would say if you weren't looking at a diverse crop to put on there, it can be used as a wind block, can be used as a shelter, and of course, I guess the obvious is it can be used as a main production piece. So it can be a capital center for you if you so desire. So I thank you very much and have a most wonderful evening.